Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. Okay, let's get on to actual tweets now instead of this wall of text here. Benny Schetz, starting strong. So he's retweeting the U.S. Department of Education, which basically is a generic tweet saying that students should feel safe attending school. They should feel free from discrimination and valued for who they are as people. And it means creating welcome and safe spaces for them. And Ben's response to that is to say, but my kid's public school teacher is a Christian. If your church wouldn't commission a fourth grade grader to the foreign mission field, why would you commission a fourth grader to enter the mission field of pseudoscience and the sexual ideology cult? Get your kid out. So his response to saying we should not discriminate against kids and we should make them all feel loved and accepted for who they are is to say that's the same as sending them on a mission to like that island of uncontacted people that killed that missionary a while ago.
That's I feel like when we see a Kevin Sorbo tweet, it's funny because he's obviously stupid. The problem with Benjamin, now that he's become a regular on tweets, is he seems so maliciously stupid.
Yes.
I'm sorry. There's stupid but funny because we get to laugh, and then there's stupid where I get angry looking at it because it only takes a little bit of time, a tiny Google search to understand what the fuck is up with gender, that there's not a fucking gender cult outside of on tumblr.com for like the 5 people that still use that.
Ooh. I'm sorry. The nefarious name of Doom mentioned this. Will one of the tweets be from Musk making likes private because he liked porn? No, I don't have a screenshot of that, but yeah, if you log into Twitter now, you will get a pop-up telling you that your likes are now private, so people can't see the posts that you've liked. And this happened like immediately after Elon Musk liked, I forget what it was, but it was like a video of a woman who was like, it was like small penis shaming. So like he liked a porn video of someone small penis shaming, and then people were like, why are you liking this? And then likes became private. So it's just Twitter is becoming his personal, like, I will use Twitter to dunk on people, and anything that happens to me that I don't like, I will change the entire platform to make it so that can't happen again.
You know, honestly, the weirdest thing that Musk does on the platform now is anytime some right-winger says anything at all, he just posts under it going, interesting.
Or wow. Or 3 exclamation marks.
Yeah. It's weird, and it's so goddamn predictable now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, someone actually would they posted a screenshot of his like along with the statement, bet your likes will be private soon. And then hours later, likes were private. So, yeah. Timothy Keller says, the very core of any gospel presentation is to show people that in some way or another they've been trying to save themselves and they are failing. Why? Like, save themselves from what?
Yeah,
like, if I don't believe that God exists, then like telling me that I'm trying to save myself from what God will do to me if I don't believe in him, it's like,
if I don't believe in hell, I'm not trying to save myself from hell.
Yeah, like if I was trying to save myself, I would like maybe marry the person that I'm living with because God doesn't like us living in sin. Although
remember,
she had an interesting idea that I'm not sure how that would work out logistically, where we should like go on vacation to a different country every year and get married in that country, but not register it in Canada, so that we'd just be married in all these different places, but not Canada.
Honestly, Honestly,
I kind of love the idea, but
I like that idea.
I also feel like that would make things difficult for like my kids when I die or something. Like there'll be some international law that we just weren't aware of that is gonna fuck everything all up.
You owe this amount to the government of this country because you were married under our bylaws, and
Yeah,
we
something
get
like
to
that.
get a DNA sample from your scrotum to create a flash clone of you because you didn't want to be an organ donor here, so we are going to use your stem cells to create organs in our country.
If someone wants to clone me, I'm down for that. I think that would be hilarious. Like, I mean, realistically, the cloning process, in order to clone an adult human, you have to clone it as a baby and wait for it to grow up. There is no way to bypass that.
Yeah.
But like, and then that brings up the question: if you did meet a clone of yourself, would you have sex with it? Like, I absolutely would.
I mean, I don't think I would because I don't find myself attractive.
It's not about attraction at that point.
Whether or not I'll have sex with someone is entirely based on whether or not I am attracted to them.
Not when it's yourself.
Yeah.
I don't find myself attractive, but I still give myself hand jobs all the time.
Yeah, but do you sit on your arm just so that you can get it nice and asleep so that it feels like it's someone else?
Doing the stranger?
Yeah.
I mean, not every time.
Look, when it is physically a separate person, it's not you anymore because a clone stops being you from the minute it has a different experience.
So all I'm saying is that my partner did kind of give me the side eye here, which I interpret to mean her being like, see, I told you you were bi.
Paige, how did we get here? Jack Will saying fan art is canon.
Something about Tim
Selfcest is canon.
And I've got Morbid Palace in my chat saying Selfcest, so there we go.
When you said
something, Jake says, "Look, I'm extremely attractive, but I'm not turned on by men, unfortunately."
I'm just imagining Vice Rhino looking at the mirror, going, "Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me hard."
I would, but that doesn't mean I think anybody else should.
Okay, but should and would are different words carrying different levels of weight here.
Yep, absolutely. Jassa in my chat is saying Cirrus's intro is literally him committing self-cest. Are you talking about that intro song?
If it's the intro song...
Yeah, the song. It's the song. They clarified.
God damn it.
So, yeah, that...
Jack Will says, would Rhino fuck swap Rhino, though?
Gender swap Rhino?
If it's gender swap Rhino...
Okay, if I would fuck male Rhino and I'm not gay, yes, I would fuck gender swap Rhino. Let's just let Timothy Keller know on Twitter that his tweet led to us talking about self-cest and body swapping and male pregnancy and whatever the fuck else we talked about that he would absolutely hate. Like, he caused this sinful discussion by posting this tweet. And it's better that a man should have a millstone thrown around his neck than to cause other people to stumble or some shit like that.
Better that a man should have a MILF stone run around his neck.
Is that like a MILF's kidney stone?
No, just a rock hard MILF.
Oh, okay. Okay. We're so far off the rails, I don't even know what's going on anymore. Moving on.
I feel as though I've corrupted your entire show.
We're gonna okay.
Oh,
we were off the rails before. You saw this whole conversation?
Tweet. Yes!
Did you see the conversation? So this was in so this guy, that was in response for me providing him with the all right, so Frank Turek posted a poll that was like, does gender affirming care actually help with gender dysphoria? And I posted the link to my list of trans-related research, which go to research.vicerhino.com for that. It's this huge list of mostly peer-reviewed scientific sources that all come back saying, like, being trans is real, gender affirming care is the best thing for trans people.
I like how
puberty blockers for minors aren't a problem.
I like how they said,
like
"Isn't that
there's
a
all these categories or whatever?
Isn't that a grooming research group?" But it was to your
It's like-
master doc from multiple researchers, like multiple papers.
Yeah, like it's like all these different people from these different unaffiliated institutions spanning several decades in different countries on different continents. Like there's research from Thailand, there's research from Sweden, there's research from, of course, the United States, Canada, UK.
But isn't that all one
it's
group?
all over the place. But yeah, no, it's all one group, even though they all work for different institutions. It's the grooming research group. But anyway, this guy, I forget how it came up earlier, but this guy, he argued back and forth with everybody that responded to him, including me, because I responded to him.
Nothing better to do that day.
Yeah, and every single person, he had a completely different picture of a drag queen to post to show how degenerate it is. So I'm like,
have so many.
Yeah, so that's my thing. I'm like, the first one is like, okay, you Google drag queen story hour or something, you're gonna find a picture of a drag queen. That's easy enough to do. But like every single person that responded to him, and within seconds he would respond back with another picture of a drag queen, and it was always a different picture. So like he has a folder of drag queen pictures on his computer, and he said in several of the posts that these drag queens, who often were wearing very conservative costumes, because they were like, he was mostly railing against drag queen story hours or drag queens being in kindergarten classes or whatever, so it was usually them with kids. And so when you put drag queen in situations where they're going to be mostly with kids, they wear conservative costumes because they're not trying to sexualize themselves in front of kids, because that's not what they're after. There were a couple sexual things, but they were very clearly not kids events. But like, so like he would always say how sexual he found those images to be. So it's like, you find drag queens in rooms with children to be sexual, and you have a folder of those pictures on your computer.
So then you find all of that sexual. That is
like,
effectively porn.
Now, if you find drag queens to be sexually arousing to you, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. Go for it. Have fun. Don't shame other people for doing it, but just have fun with your thing. But if part of that is that kids also have to be in the picture, then like, no, keep the kids out of it. No, that's gross. Stop it. Stop. You just need to stop. And of course, the people that are probably masturbating to pictures that have kids in them are the ones calling us groomers.
Yeah. Why though? Why are we?
So I took my kids to a drag queen brunch event, and I may have flirted a little bit with one of them in front of the kids. I don't know. I was like it was a tipping situation, so like I was like waving the 5 around, and yeah, it was fun. But like it was a family friendly. It was a family friendly event, but there was some flirtation going on.
Well, there you are. Just be confident.
I think that was my partner's birthday present last year. We went to a drag queen brunch for
her birthday present. Was you flirting with a drag queen?
Yeah.
But Jack and Quill says, "Bino is real."
Hey, I will flirt with anyone. Okay.
I am just imagining that.
So I will flirt with anyone.
Voice.
So I will flirt with anyone. Except if somebody initiates the flirting with me, I probably won't notice and won't realize that they were trying to flirt with me until like 4 days later.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Okay. Richard McLaughlin says, happening again, just look around. Posting a meme saying, wake up world, most of what we see happening around the world right now has been prophesied in the Bible. So I'm pretty sure the prophecy that they're referring to is the one where it says there will be wars and rumors of wars and a bunch of earthquakes.
You mean like there always are?
Like there are every year. So, yeah,
that
congratulations.
Doesn't mean anything.
Congratulations. Like, I prophesy that it will rain sometime next month. No, I'm not going to tell you where. So as long as there's rain,
it will rain.
As long as there's rain somewhere, I'm right. Like that's the same level of prophecy. Sorry, that's just
how it works, bro.
Now, you want to get specific with the prophecies? How's the city of Tyre doing? You know, that one that was supposed to be destroyed and never resettled again? That is still a place you can go and visit?
Yeah, you can go to Tyr right now.
Or how about Egypt, that was supposed to be completely empty for 40 years and then would never be a major country again? And that was before they became a major country that was written? So, yeah. Bible's not so good with prophecies when it gets specific.
Nope. Wake up, world. Most of what we see happening around the world right now has been prophesized in the Bible. I'm sure it has, buddy. I'm sure it has. Just look around. At what? Just say at what?
Donald Hermio says, and wanton violence.
And wonton violence. You're right.
Wonton.
Oh God, I could go for some wontons.
Wonton soup is good.
Man, Ocean, are you in the chat still?
Was Ocean in the chat?
Ocean was in the chat, and if he's still in the chat, God,
Ocean,
I want to make a
to
terrible,
the dark side. Come to my
I want to make
channel.
a terrible decision involving a local pho, well, not local, but a pho place. But only if Ocean's willing to make the terrible decision with me. Jassa says you can at Ocean bring Sir so many wontons. Okay, but Jack and Cool, the last time you were at my house, the only thing you brought was pierogies and insecurity. To be fair, that's what most people bring to my house. Not the pierogies, but the insecurity.
Monorail says frogs, lice, locust water, etc. So yeah, we had the plague of lice in our house not too long ago, and now 2 out of 3 of my natural born kids have shorter hair than they wanted.
Jack and Cool's like, fuck me. No, Jack and Cool, you don't understand. Most everybody who comes over my house comes over after a Magic the Gathering event, so most everybody's coming with a lot of insecurities. Jack Will says, that's not true. I brought like 7 cosplays. I only remember the Doctor Strange one.
Fennec says pierogies. I love pierogies. So good. The transformed wife says,
oh boy.
Women give sex freely to their boyfriends because they're afraid if they don't, their boyfriends will leave them. But when they get married, they often deprive their husbands sexually because their husbands are committed to them. Don't give boyfriends any sex, give husbands a lot. So this is working from the assumption that women don't like sex. It's like, sometimes I give sex to my girlfriend because if I don't, she might leave me.
Hello?
Because she likes the sex. And I like it when she's happy.
Yeah.
And I don't know what this was in reference to, but Donald Hermio just said that's a lousy thing to do to your kids. Bad timing on that one, Donald. Just going to say it. We're talking about sex now.
Stop says if you're going to say pierogies, say it correctly. Fine, pierogi.
Okay. But yeah, so no, this is assuming that women don't like sex, but also like sexual compatibility is an important part of a relationship. Like if 2 people are sexually incompatible, breaking up over that, okay,
is very common.
Donald says kids with lice. Yeah, okay, that is much better than what we were talking about now. But yeah, no, I didn't. Oh, okay, no, that was a pun. Okay, I was about to defend my decision to cut their hair off, but that was a lousy thing to do to your kids. Okay,
God,
I got it.
Damn it!
I was going to defend myself, but I get it. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, women like sex too. So it's not just wives giving sex to or women giving sex to their boyfriends. Sometimes it's their boyfriends giving sex to the women. Because they like it too. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, also like sexual compatibility. So if you're not sexually compatible, that is going to make for like a difficulty in the relationship. Like it's not impossible to overcome incompatibility issues. Oh my God, they're all. Asina Salon is saying, "Is that a knit you really want to pick?" So yeah, we're all on the lice puns now, but yeah, no, if you are sexually incompatible, that is like, it's not something that is necessarily impossible to overcome, but it is a difficulty in a relationship, and it would be best if you go into the relationship aware of that, So like if you don't have sex before you commit to spend the rest of your life not having sex with anyone but that one person, then if there's an incompatibility issue, that could be a very big issue. So yeah, no, it would be best to have sex beforehand. But also, like, I actually find that not being married makes for a more authentic relationship than being married, or like a more
because you don't feel like you're stuck.
Not necessarily authentic, but like more a relationship that into which you put more effort. So like I appreciate my partner, and because she is not legally bound to me, she is free to leave anytime she wants.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually have to work to make sure that when she wakes up in the morning, she rolls over, sees my face, and is like, yeah, I think I'll stay with him for at least another day. Because she is free to leave anytime she wants. Now, granted, like, we live together and her kids live with me, and like our lives are so intertwined that there would be some logistical issues to her leaving, but there are no legal issues to her leaving. There's no paperwork that has to be done. She just has to up and leave if she wants to leave. So like, yeah, it wouldn't be just as easy as up and leaving, but it's easier than it would be than if we were married. So like the fact that we are every day making the active choice to look at each other and be like, yes, I enjoy your company, so I'm going to stay with you. That's a more authentic relationship, and it's a relationship that we are both putting more effort into. So like I'm not getting complacent in like, oh, I can get away with slacking off on X thing because, what's she going to do? Leave me? Yeah, she might. So I actually have to do it.
I just realized something, Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
We can paraphrase Lorie Alexander's name to the trans wife, and it is still phonetically accurate.
Okay.
And it would piss her the fuck off.
Okay, Cirrus, I'm going to show you right now, like, yeah, I actually already have that, like, that's
please don't tell me that I just came, like, really, really late to this joke.
I'm pretty sure that I've already mentioned it on stream before.
Damn it.
I'm just trying to think of the way that I can add this as a source without, like, window capture. Let's not make it visible by default until I actually know what the fuck I'm doing. Explorer. Okay, sure. I don't think anything's really going to be...
And now people are cropping the quote to please don't tell me I just came. God damn it.
Yeah, so right there.
Transwife2.png.
Yeah, so there was a different one that we had from Lorie, but I had too many tweets already and decided this one was funnier.
So, anytime she comes up now, can we just call her transwife.png?
Well, that's what I call her in my files.
Well, yeah, but so in your files versus in our conversations are very different things. I'm not in your files.
Well, because I have this relationship with little quirks like that, where like I get a little chuckle out of it, but I can also see how that could be actually offensive to trans people, because it's like using trans as an insult, the same way that like gay was an insult in the 90s.
I guess, yeah.
So like I can see how it could be taken that way, and I don't want to encourage that. But at the same time, like that's what the trans and transform mean. Like the prefix means the same thing. So it's, I don't know.
That reminds me. Did YouTube ever finally decide that my YouTube poop calling Steven Anderson gay wasn't hate speech? I forget. I need to check this thing.
So I went to apply to be a community notes person on Twitter. Yeah. And I got denied because I apparently violated the Twitter rules at some point in between January 1st of 2023 and now. So like in the last year and a half, I posted something that broke the rules. I have no idea what the fuck it was. My alt account actually did get through, and it's on the wait list. So I might be able to add community notes to Twitter now. Well, in the near future. But only on my alt account that I always forget that I even have.
Jack and Quill says, if it's allowed now, then I want to redo the thumbnail for new sharing.
Yeah, so Akuji Malice says, as a trans person, I will give my, and only my, obviously, endorsement to this one. It's only an insult if she's insulted by it. Yeah, and that's a valid position, but I also, like, I'm thinking of, like I have trans kids. I'm like, how would they feel about this sort of thing? And I
can understand that, because it's like,
it's one thing when it's like a little private joke for myself, and it's another thing when I'm like broadcasting it to thousands of people, because like, yeah, there's only 145 people watching now, but like the streams do eventually get like 2,000 to 3,000 views.
No, that's entirely fair. I understand that position. I can respect that.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. Frank Turek says, the god of the new atheists is... The God the new atheists reject is not the God of the actual God of the Bible. I can't read.
Yes, it is. Some of us wanted to be theologians when we were kids. Yes, the fuck it is, Frank.
I have a whole ass video where I use the Bible to prove that the God of the Bible doesn't exist.
Like, Frank, dear. Yeah, you know, can we call him Frankie Poo? Let's call him Frankie Poo.
Yeah, we can call him Frankie Poo.
Frankie Poo, just so you know, when I was a kid, I was very stupid. I thought I could be a superhero because despite being in a private Christian school that didn't like things like magic, I still thought superpowers were a real thing because I was a dumb kid. And that's a dumb kid thing to think. So I wanted to be a super missionary when I grew up. When we had a dress the way you want to be when you're an adult, and kids came in dressed in like little astronaut suits they got from a Halloween place, fire truck suits. I tore, and this was also because we couldn't afford anything else, but I tore I tied a towel around my neck and then held a Bible in my hand. It's like, I want to be a super missionary. I want to go and fly to another country and teach people about Jesus Christ. Like, that's what I wanted to do when I was a kid. By the time I was a teenager, that turned into wanting to be a theologian because I had become enamored with the book of Revelation more than was probably comfortable for a normal human being. I blame the Left Behind books for that. So to tell me, a now atheist who was so enthusiastic about the Bible and Christianity that I wanted to base my career on it, and technically I kind of ended up doing that anyway if you think about it hard enough, that I wanted to base my career on it, and I even based so much of my entertainment around it because I used to binge as many tapes of Adventures in Odyssey as I could possibly find.
Stratahawk said Cyrus is becoming the new Bible man, and Mark Fernkoff is saying someone fan art that. So yes, absolutely, Cyrus is Bible man. Do it.
Jesus Christ. But I
yes, Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior because you're a Bible man.
But that was me as a child. Those were the things that I wanted to do as a kid. When I became a teenager and learned, some of the ways in which the world works, then I changed those positions a little bit into theologian. I wanted to study the Bible. I wanted to learn about how we had the conversation about the historical things surrounding particular Bible verses, like the whole shit in Timothy and all of that. That's the stuff that I wanted to learn a fuck ton about when I was that age. So for Frank Turek to get up on his pedestal, however many inches it may be for compensation, and decide that he's going to tell me that I, as a Christian for, 22, 23 years? I usually say 18 because we're not going to count the ages 1 through fucking 5. That I, as a Christian for that amount of time, didn't have a deep understanding of what the God of the Bible was when I so enthusiastically wanted to pledge every iota of my life to that deity is arrogance to a degree I can't even describe.
You know how close I came to being to becoming a philosopher. Like, I considered, when I was going to my Christian high school, I considered taking philosophy as a major in college, and I was seriously considering entering the ministry and becoming a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just based on the fact that, like, I am decent at, like, speaking to an audience. Like, like, I make, like, that's what I do for a living now. That's what I do.
It's almost like you do that for a living now. Weird.
Yeah, except it takes way more effort to do what I do than it would to do the job of a pastor. So I think I would have actually made a really good pastor. I also think that I would have, like, I feel like my deconversion and my eventually fall into atheism was inevitable. Like, no matter what path I took, I would have noticed something wrong with the Bible eventually and ended up not believing anymore. So I feel like it's best that I didn't take that path and end up a pastor, because then I would have been, like, financially reliant on telling lies to people, and I don't do well with that.
And you would have been in the clergy projects.
Yeah, absolutely. But, like, I'm not, like, if I don't believe something, I have a hard time telling that to other people, like, to the point where, like, even if I make a joke about something that's not true, I will kill the joke after I have made it by explaining that, oh no, that was just a joke. It's not something I actually believe, because that's just who I am. And Heidi's in the chat now laughing at me because I'm sure she's like, yeah, that's the tism. 'Cause it is. But yeah, no, I am like, I would have been a decent pastor.
In my chat
I would have been
saying that's a tism.
I would have been a decent pastor until I couldn't be anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah. So yeah, and like I said, I have a whole ass video on my channel that uses the Bible to show that the God of the Bible can't exist, because, like, the Bible does say that God is love. The Bible also provides a definition for love, and God violates that definition all over the damn place. Love is not jealous. God's name is jealous. God is so jealous that that's his name.
But his love is agape. I know it's supposed to be agape.
I got that reference.
Come on.
Agape. Apparently somebody's calling me Vicar Rhino. Which, okay, sure, why not? And yeah, people are saying I have a touch of the tism in the chat as well.
One touch, many tism.
Okay, we haven't gotten to the doggy Santa hat in a while, so let's do that.
I don't want to hear after today, I never want to hear the phrase, I got into the doggy.
Got into the doggy Santa.
It's
furry Santa.
Or anything beginning with I came, or anything like that. I do not want what those things are.
Yeah, well, you know what? I can make you say ooh, and you won't even hear it.
Ooh. Yeah, you're right. I can't hear it, so it doesn't exist.
My whole
that's
audience
what Christians
can hear
think
it.
atheism is.
My audience can hear it.
I'm glad
anyway,
they can.
Wendell, wouldn't be Twit Tweets without either Wendell or K-Sorbs. Sorry, no K-Sorbs tonight. Wendell says, Noah was a crazy man until the rain began to fall. What I took away from this is that it's okay to call apologists crazy until they can provide physical, tangible evidence.
I'm okay with that.
Because
I'm okay with that one.
Noah was crazy until there was physical, tangible evidence.
Remember all those times in the Bible where when a prophet is asked to provide proof of God, they do shit like putting offerings on pillars and then it's waving their hands around and then fire comes down and they're just like, look, the power of God.
But now it's, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test.
Yeah.
Okay, so John 73 John says his name is Jealous. Hi, Jealous, I'm Dad. And
forget what the name of that book was. God, the most unpleasant character in all of fiction.
But then Heidi says Rhino uses that joke all the time. Absolutely. Her kids actually get very annoyed at me when I do that. Because they'll come home from school and they'll say, I'm hungry.
Hi, hungry.
Hi, hungry.
Dad.
Well, it's Papa, but I'm Papa.
No, I was quoting ASDF movie.
They actually, so my dad did a thing when we were kids where, you know, my kids don't do it quite the same way as we did when we were kids. So it didn't quite work the same way. But like when I was a kid, one of us would say, I'm thirsty, and then another one would pipe up, like that would make one of us realize, oh yeah, we're thirsty too. So we'd say, I'm thirsty too. And I guess the first time we did that, my dad was 37 years old, so he would respond with, I'm thirsty 7. And then it stayed thirsty 7 for the rest of his life. So like, even though now when he's 69 years old, nice, he'll still say, I'm thirsty 7. And so I started doing that with my kids, except they don't do the I'm thirsty too. So it doesn't quite make as much sense, but it makes sense to me. It's a family tradition. And I am 37. Well, no, I was 37 2 days ago. Now I'm 38. But I will forever be thirsty 7.
Crusader Light says, hey, want some cursed knowledge? Sure.
What is the cursed knowledge?
I'm terrified of what the cursed knowledge might be, but no reason for us to interrupt what we're doing.
This whole stream has been cursed so far.
Yeah, it has.
Incredibly cursed. Okay, moving on. Mike Winger. Saying it's 2024 as an argument for why Christian values are to be discarded and replaced with current trends is no different than, I follow the crowd wherever they go. The crowd is my moral compass. The crowd tells me what to think. The crowd is my Bible. Fear the crowd. Okay, first off, saying it's 2024 is not an argument. It is more of an observation that, like, hey, society has progressed by this much, and you're still acting like it's the 1800s.
Yeah.
So it's not an argument. It's just a, wow, you're still that regressive in this year?
It's an I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, it's like if you were like a Christian apologist who came out in favor of slavery, defending it, saying that like, oh, slavery is actually good sometimes, as many of them do. And us being like, wow, in 2024, like 100 and some odd years after slavery was officially declared illegal in the United States, you're still advocating for slavery. Wow. Like, it's not an argument. It's basically pointing out how far behind the times you are.
I also figured out what the cursed knowledge is.
What is
if
it?
You control.win.alt or control win alt shift L as a keyboard combination.
Oh, that opens LinkedIn.
Thing. Yeah, it opens LinkedIn.
Yeah, I know that one.
It's weird as shit.
No, you know what's real cursed knowledge?
The
ampersand is a stick figure scooching its butt.
I remember you posting about that.
Yeah, you'll never be able to unsee that.
No, I won't.
I'm trying to think of how I can make that. Can you do a text source? So I can show people a picture. Yeah, text. Make source visible. What do I want the text to say? Ampersand. It's a stick figure. Scooching its butt.
The stick figure's like, I saw a dog do this once.
Yeah.
You're now breathing manually. You're now blinking manually.
So there we go. That's cursed knowledge. So yeah, it's not an argument. It's just pointing out how far behind the times you are. And then another Mike Winger quote or post. So he's responding to this guy who said, Mike Winger wants us to remember that the good old days when homosexuals were burned alive by loving Christians, society was so much better back then. And then he says, this person wants you to think that I want to kill people by burning them alive. Such tolerance. So
I've listened to Mike Winger's secular argument against homosexuality. You may not want them.
So that was actually
Mike.
What the first person was posting, was like retweeting that exact thing when they said this.
Oh,
yeah,
neat.
So go on.
So one of the first videos I ever did on Mike Winger, which I don't do many because I find him boring as hell. It is very hard to do a Mike Winger video. But when I did that video, it was right before I did the debate with Mike Winger. It was me, Mike Winger, and Ocean. You may not want those people to die or burn alive, Mike, but you do believe that they belong in hell. First of all, that is a true thing you believe.
Yeah,
Secondly,
so not just burning alive as a method of execution, but burning alive as a method of punishment for being homosexual torture. For eternity. So like there is no, oh, now I'm dead and it's over. It's you have gone from being burned alive in life to being burned alive in death forever.
Secondly, Mike, just another really important thing to take into account. Going over that video, I found that turns out he believes that it is effectively inevitable that homosexual people will kill themselves or ostracize themselves from their families or ruin their own lives. And if he didn't believe that, it wouldn't be an argument against homosexuality, but it is part of his video and a secular argument against homosexuality.
So I hope my oldest child, who is assigned female at birth, I hope that they prefer people who are also assigned female at birth, because that would make my life so much easier. So that's not going to end any family relationships. If anything, be heterosexual.
So Mike may not believe that they need to strictly burn to death, but he does believe that their families will hate him. He does hate them. He does believe that they will kill themselves. He does believe that they are torturing themselves. He does believe that they're going to burn in hell. He believes all of these other extracurricular versions of that. Such tolerance.
Where I was going to go is that he might not want to personally kill people by burning them alive, but if the government were to enact the death penalty for being homosexual, he would be on board with that. So he might not personally want to do that, but he'd be okay with it happening. Which is what this person was saying. He's not saying that Mike personally would love to kill people by burning them alive. He's saying that Mike longs for the good old days when homosexuals were burned alive. Which, that's a very fine distinction, but it is a distinction.
Yeah.
And given Mike's very vehement position on the topic, I'd say that's a valid distinction. Jassa says, so he's NIFB. No, I'm not sure what Mike is exactly.
He's not NIFB, and he's actually spoken out against the NIFB specifically. So he's not them.
Yeah, he does claim that he follows Christianity the way they did in the first century, like the way the first Christians followed Christianity, which is objectively not true, because we don't know how the first Christians followed Christianity, but we know enough from Paul's writings to say that Mike definitely is not it.